Welcome to my sports betting channel. Place your bets. Week 15 follow-up results video. How about we go take a look at Sunday's games and my betting board. First things first, coffee. Delicious. All right, let's take a look at Sunday's results. Week 15. Cardinals versus the Texans. Texans were a 9.5-point favorite. Look at that score. 40-20. Texans. For an 8-5 team, the Texans have been playing really well. Remember, they beat the Chiefs at home. Money line was minus 525. Raiders versus the Eagles. Eagles were a 11.5-point favorite. Look at this score. 31-0 Eagles. I'm surprised that the Raiders, I'm surprised the entire coaching staff has not been fired yet. The entire coaching staff. The Raiders are horrible, horrendous. They're worse than they were last year. Jets versus the Jags. Jags were a 13.5-point favorite. Jags 48, Jets 20. I would have loved to have bet on these games. But look at these money lines. Texans minus 425. Eagles minus 750. Jags minus 1,000. You bet on those money lines, you're not going to make any money. I would have loved to have bet on these games, but they're almost like a roadblock. And good luck with the point spread, because the point spread is hit and miss. Either they cover the spread or they don't. And I kind of don't do well with those. Anyway, but yeah, Vegas got that one right. Got that one right. Got that one right. Browns versus the Bears. Bears were a 7.5-point favorite. Money line minus 400. Bears 31-3. Consistent. They've been playing very well. Gonna have to keep an eye on the Bears during the playoffs. So I think they might surprise a lot of people, shock some people. Bills versus the Patriots. Money line. Bills were a 1-point favorite. Because of where I live, I was not able to watch this game. Where I live, it's mostly West Coast games. I wish I could have seen this game. When I saw at halftime, when I saw that the Patriots were winning 24-0, I was like ecstatic. I was like, yes, all right, upset bet, upset win. Well, the Bills wound up winning that game 35-31. And do you remember earlier in the year when the Patriots beat the Bills at home? Well, turnabout is fair play, because the Bills beat the Patriots at home. And oh man, from the highlight reel, it looked like a fantastic game. I wish I could have seen it. Ravens versus the Bengals. Ravens were a 2.5-point favorite. Vegas got that one right. Ravens 24, Bengals 0. Money line minus 140. I should have bet on that game, but I didn't. So, Chargers versus the Chiefs. Chiefs 5.5-point favorite. Money line minus 275. Chiefs 16 Chargers 16, Chiefs 13. You know, I told you I was going to think about that bet. I was going to think about it long and hard. I did. And coulda, woulda, shoulda. Anyway, yeah, Chargers. 10-4. Looking good. Commanders versus the Giants. Giants were a 2.5-point favorite. Commanders 29, Giants 21. Colts versus the Seahawks. Seahawks were a 13.5-point favorite. Seahawks were losing this game. They kicked a field goal right at the last second, won that game 18-16. Good job, Seahawks. Seahawks are a dependable, reliable bet, but I could not bet on this game because the money line was 1,200. And when you bet on a money line that's 1,200, you're not going to make any money. So I could not bet on this game. Packers versus the Broncos. Packers were a 2.5-point favorite. I picked this game. I picked the Broncos to upset the Packers, and they did. 34-26. Watched that game. It was fantastic. Broncos are now the best 12-2 team in football. Panthers versus the Saints. Panthers were a 2.5-point favorite. Saints with the upset bet. Upset win. 20-17. Lions versus the Rams. Rams were a 6-point favorite. Money line minus 250. I told you I like this bet. Easy money, easy win. Look at that. 41-34 Rams. Titans versus the 49ers. 49ers were a 12.5-point favorite. 49ers 37, Titans 24. Vikings versus those scrappy Cowboys. Remember, I was so confident that the Cowboys were going to beat the Vikings. Well, I was wrong. I watched this game. A lot of throwing on 1st and 10. Where'd that get you? Anyway, Vikings 34, Cowboys 26. Monday Night Football, Dolphins versus the Steelers. Steelers had a fantastic running game. Steelers 28, Dolphins 15. Let's go take a look at my betting board and see how I did. My betting board. All right. Top to bottom. Okay, I put 750 on the Patriots. Money line upset bet. Well, I lost that bet. Chargers versus the Chiefs. $5 money line on the Chiefs. I lost that bet as well. Broncos. Packers versus the Broncos. My upset bet. $7.50. I converted that to $15.75. Lions versus the Rams. Rams were a 6-point favorite. Money line minus 250. I did $10 on the Rams. Converted $10 to $14. Vikings versus the Cowboys. Cowboys. Money line minus 275. I put $10 on that game. I lost that game. Scrappy Cowboys didn't come through. Dolphins versus the Steelers. Money line was minus 190. I did a $10 money line bet. Converted that $10 to $15. Out of my 6 games, I won 3, lost 3. Basically, I broke even. So whatever I put in, I got exactly out. My record is now 64-28. I had 3 parlays. Anyway, my magic stick is acting up. I had 3 parlays. My first parlay, Patriots Chiefs, lost that parlay. Second parlay, $1 parlay, Browns Rams, converted $1 to $2.80. Third parlay, I lost that parlay. It was the Cowboys and the Steelers. I had $53 going out. My new total is 138.57. The conclusion that I've come to after 15 weeks of betting, it's all about finding your winners out of the Sunday games. Just, finding your winners. Who's going to win? Well, out of the 6, I managed to get 3 this week. And betting is not about luck. It's about strategy. That's the conclusion that I have come to with betting on these games, is finding your winners. And not an awful weekend. It financially I pretty much broke even. So I hope you did better than me. I think I've covered the board. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for checking out my channel. And we will see you in week number 16.